Speaker, as I conclude, I can see already my time is almost up. What we have asked for from the minority side is that a decision such as the lifting of a ban of GMO is such a radical policy pronouncement that we believe that this is a matter upon which further public participation ought to have been taken before the decision is made. Mr. Speaker, I want to refer the House to Article number 10 of the Constitution, where it says that whenever any state officer, public officer, or any person makes or implements public policy decisions, they are tied down to following or complying with the, the national principles and values that are set out in Article 10, including patriotism and participation of the people, Mr. Speaker. We do not believe that that particular decision was subjected to that process. Mr. Speaker, finally, I know that if I give my own opinion on some of these things, it will be dismissed here. But, Mr. Speaker, I want to inform the House that I, Sifuna, am a Catholic, and Catholics take policy positions from the Pope. And the Pope speaks to these issues through letters to his bishops called encyclicals. Mr. Speaker, the Pope has already issued an encyclical on the question of GMO foods. And if you allow me, Mr. Speaker, I would like to read an excerpt from this particular encyclical.
Senator Cheragei, what is out of order?
Mr. Speaker, according to Standing Order 101 on contents of speech, when you look at when you extrapolate Standing Order 101-2, this matter of GMO, you had given directions on this matter. And in fact, I remember, was it Senator from Vihiga, who you may have directed to produce evidence on that issue of GMO. And I think that matter had been dealt with. So I don't know why Senator Sifuna is introducing an issue of argument when he knows very well that what he's trying to do is casting aspersions on the government lifting of GMO. Because, Mr. Speaker, I know this is like anticipating debate. Because this is something that the government is yet to issue guidelines on lifting of the GMO ban, Mr. Speaker. So I would request my brother Senator, through you, Senator Sifuna, to desist from introducing something that is not even part of the speech of the President, Mr. Speaker. Why is he shooting in the dark when he cannot know where he's aiming at? Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Senator Sifuna, you have less than 1.5 minutes.
Mr. Speaker, with due respect, you can see this is the reason why I was asking for your protection. I am not introducing any matter. I am addressing myself to the President's proposals on food security. And I am allowed by the standing orders to read brief references from an authority like the Pope. I think the other speakers, the other senators who spoke have not availed themselves of authorities from their faith. So, Mr. Speaker, I would like to read this.
Sympathetic to you. Have you finished?
I want to read this.
Reading the Pope's message.
Yes?
Are you done, or you know your time is really...
Please, most of the time, Mr. Speaker, add me 2 minutes so that I just read this passage from this encyclical
1 minute,
and sit
please,
down.
1 minute.
Mr. Speaker, this is the encyclical, and all these documents are available on the Vatican website. If you are unable to access the website because you are a rural senator, I can get one from his Bishop Agnolo's office for you. Mr. Speaker, this is what the Pope says. Although no conclusive proof exists that GM cereals may be harmful to human beings, and in some regions their use has brought about economic growth which has helped to resolve problems, there remain a number of significant difficulties which should not be underestimated. In many places following the introduction of these crops, productive land is concentrated in the hands of a few owners due to the progressive disappearance of small producers who, as a consequence of the loss of the exploited lands, are obliged to withdraw from direct production. Mr. Speaker, he says the most vulnerable of these become temporary laborers, and many rural workers end up moving to poverty-stricken urban areas. The expansion of these crops has the effect of destroying the complex networks of ecosystems, diminishing the diversity of production, and affecting regional economies now and in the future. Mr. Speaker, he concludes on this particular topic by saying, certainly these issues require constant attention and a concern for their ethical implications. A broad, responsible scientific and social debate needs to take place. One